YouTube, Mr. Gives a Guy here with a new video. This is a follow-up video to my previous video of why everyone should buy and learn to use an AR-15. And this is a carry-on continuation of that as to how do you buy an AR-15. And in particular, how do you acquire the gun and what you need to go with it at this time when we're having a real big ammo and gun shortage that's been going on for almost a year now. Are there signs of it ending? Are there things that we can do? What can we do? Well, let's delve into that a little bit. I can tell you from my own experiences. If you didn't see my previous one, it will be on my channel there, connected with this. But we're looking at the AR-15 and the supplies, what goes with it, and wondering now with the new administration imminent upon us, this is January the 19th, what things could very well be getting a lot harder to get or impossible to get, illegal. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes, but in the meantime, while you still can, maybe I can help you with some stuff here. Let me mention this here. If I can put this on here, it's a little bag. This is a place called Rural King, which is America's farm and home store. They have free popcorn and free coffee all day, every day, while you shop. Okay, what is that doing here? Well, it has something to do with the subject of the video. Rural King is a chain store that is in this county where I live, and I understand they're in about 16 states. And Rural King has a very big, very active firearms counter. At least they do here in Florida, and they kind of picked up the slack in what we used to get at Walmart. Now Walmart's kind of gone politically correct, and their ammo and their guns and their AR-15s and AKs and things have all disappeared, and who knows if it's going to come back? Probably not. So places like Rural King have stepped in to fill the void left there. All right. While I'm speaking of Rural King, that is part of my story today. The Rural King that is in the area, when I finally came to the conclusion that I was going to add an AR-15 to the guns that I have, I went there first of all. And this is my first experience was, as I learned, not a good lesson. First time I went in, I walked up to the counter and I looked, and they had a AR-15 for $9.99, and they had one for $7.99, and they had one for $6.99, and they had one for $4.49 or $5.49. I think that's about the right numbers. And so I pointed to one of them. Let me see that. The guy handed it to me. I took a look at it, and he said, okay. Feel the weight and heft of it, and I have to admit, it was not exactly what I was thinking about. It was a short barrel that had no carry handle on it, Picatinny rail all the way across the top, and it wasn't what I thought was an AR-15, because I think of it more as what looks just like the M16 from when I was a youngster. And this was not one. It left me a little bit cold, but the price was really good on it. And so I started to hand it back to the guy, and he says, "So, you want me to call one up from the back?" And I said, no, let me think about it. And he says, "You want to think about it?" I said, yeah, I got to think about it. He says, "You sure about that?" I said, yeah, that's fine. And I handed him the gun, and I turned and walked off. Well, I went home, and I thought about it. and I went online and I started looking up all these different gun sites and AR-15s, and they can't be found anywhere. Everything is out of stock, back order, we don't have it, all over the place. And all of a sudden that 549 was starting to look really nice. So I think I was doing something the next day, and then the next day I went back. I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna buy it right there. Probably should have bought it when I saw it. I'll go for it. And then I walked up to the counter, and all those guns that they had, they were all gone. There's nothing up there. A couple of shotguns, that's about it. And I stopped one of the guys. I said, I was looking at this 549 AR-15 you had up here the other day. He laughed at me. He said, you saw it and now you want to buy it? I said, yeah, that's what I came back for. He says, oh, well, learn a lesson there. If you come in and you see one, if you want it, buy it right then. Don't come back half an hour later. Everything will be gone. We got a shipment in and they went out again the same day. You probably saw one of the last ones before they disappeared. So when are you going to get them back again? He says, a month, 2 months, we don't know. Will we get them back again? You never know, but you had your chance and you lost it. Okay, that was my first experience with buying an AR-15. I didn't buy it. So I went home, kind of resigned that, well, I didn't really want that one anyway, so I want to build the right one. And what happened was I started looking up more and figuring out what exactly it was that I was looking for in my AR-15. And what I came to the conclusion was I wanted one with a 20-inch barrel, which are now unusual because right now what's in is a 16-inch barrel and a little, 4 inches shorter than this. And I don't care, it's like the M4 look-alike or something. And I wanted one that has a carry handle, had a kind of traditional clamshell barrel shroud, and a regular shoulder stock. Well, obviously I didn't get the regular shoulder stock, but I figure I can change it. The whole thing about this is it is modular. You can start out with it as close as you're looking to. Then you can change out the parts that aren't what you were looking for. Maybe I can sell that to somebody who want it. Seems kind of loose to me. Anyway, so I didn't get my AR-15 from Rural King after the commercial and everything. I missed out. My friend said, you know what you gotta do? Go on Palmetto State site, Palmetto State Armory, and watch stuff because they have stuff coming up. And he sent me a link. He says, right now, they're having a sale on an AR-15 lower. So I went on the site right there, and then they had this on sale. I think it was $209. It was the PSA AR-15 Complete Classic Stealth Lower, which is the lower part of the gun, here and here, not the barrel and the upper part. So I ordered the lower. Now the lower, and I don't know if this is going to change. I was just reading about this on the internet that the ATF is changing around their classifications because the lower part, the part of the lower receiver is the part that they consider the gun. And right now they're saying they are changing that. I don't know if that's good news or bad news. They're saying that's not how you determine the gun. It was when I bought this, which was not very long ago. And so that's the part that you have to have delivered. You can order it online, but you have to have it delivered to an FFL, to a local gun store. And then they fill out the paperwork as if they're selling it to you, and they get the background check and everything and clear you and any waiting periods that you have. And then they handle it. And they get on the back end from the company you bought it from, and then they charge you also. So they make some money for not getting the sale, but for running the sale. And so that's the part that there's paperwork on. The other part, after you get your lower, you can buy the upper receiver, which is the barrel and the bulk carrier and everything. And that part is you can just have it sent right to your house. That part does not go through ATF or background check or anything like that. All the parts except for that one lower receiver part you can get. You want to get a new stock for it, you can get that online. You want to get a new handguard, you get that online, new sights, anything like that. All those things are readily available, but you have to have that lower receiver, which right now is still something that you have to go through an FFL to get. I don't know. That may be changing, but I don't suspect it's changing for the better. Okay, so with all that, the lower and the upper, I managed to put together my gun, and then I had to go for some other stuff. First thing I needed was a magazine. You got to carry your ammo in something. So I went to that local place that I had the gun delivered to, it's just a mile from my house, and I went looking for a mag, and they had one, and wasn't real impressed with the place. They're kind of rip-off artists. They were not too nice when I was there at first, and so they charged me a pretty high price to get my first 30-round mag, and I got it. Got the gun, and I put it in there and thought, oh hey, look at that, banana clip, like an AK-47, shorter one. It's a 30-round magazine, different color than the gun, black with the gray, and I thought, oh that looks really cool, I like that, that's pretty awesome looking. Even though it's expensive. Now, what am I going to put in the magazine? Maybe that's what some of you tuned into this for. What am I going to, you got to put some ammo in it, of course. So I went to all the gun stores in the county. Nobody had any 5.56 or .223 ammo. Not Rural King, not anybody. I ended up going to a place in another county, gun store over there. The guy told me, hey, I just brought back $14,000 worth of ammo, a whole truckload, and I sold it Saturday. It's all gone. I said, well, how am I going to get some ammo? And he says, he gave me a business card in a place out of Texas. He says, this place is a little bit pricey, but they have ammo in stock right now, and they'll sell you some. So I went on their website to order it, and I got 3 boxes of this Monarch 223 Remington steel case, which was not real thrilled about, but it's something. And it was like $16.99 a box or something, which that wasn't that great a price, but it could have been worse. 20 rounds, and I wasn't thrilled about the steel case, but I had something. And then it's not only $16.99, then they tack on $20 for shipping. So I ended up getting 3 boxes of 20 rounds, or 60 rounds of ammo for about 70 bucks. And I wasn't too thrilled about that. Then I was kind of freaking out. I'm like, I got this gun, and I don't even want to shoot this ammo. It's so expensive. It's like gold. So I thought that came to whatever it was, $1.10 or something like that a round. And that's pretty expensive. So then I started going around different places and going to Rural King a lot because I heard that they do have it at times. And I got talking to one of the guys behind the counter. He says, all right, I see you keep coming in here, you're not finding it. He says, here's how it works in our store. The stock department brings up merchandise right about 10 o'clock in the morning. And we don't have trucks on Tuesday, we don't have trucks on Sunday. So the other 5 days, If you come at 10 o'clock in the morning, if we have ammo, it'll be there. If you come at 10:30, you will have missed it every day, because 10 o'clock is when it shows up and that's when it sells. So I thought, all right, well, I got a good motorcycle ride, I'm riding a Rural King. So I start riding out there, and finally on October 22nd, I found they had 2 boxes of Remington 223. And this is 50 rounds in a box. And it was $17.99 a box, limit 2, so I got 2 boxes. And that comes in at 36 cents a round, which is cheaper than over $1 a round. All right, so then I start making my trips, my morning runs out to the Rural King on the days when they may have ammo. And on November the 5th, a few weeks later, I really hit the big time. Came in and they sold me 2 boxes of Federal American Eagle 5.56, and these are 90 round boxes. 50 rounds, 90 rounds. And 90 rounds, I said, why don't you just go with 100? But I'll take 90. So now I have 280 rounds. And I'll stop here while I go on here. After going through everything and finding out what I wanted to get to put together the whole thing for the AR and have ammunition and magazines and everything like that, I determined that what I wanted to do was I wanted to set up a reserve of 500 rounds of ammo for this gun before I go out and start shooting it. That's just basic that I want to have in stock that I'm going to keep. As I go back and buy more after the 500, then I'll shoot some of that and some of it will go into magazines. All right, back to my, and the best part was these 90 round boxes came out to 38 cents a round. It's only 2 cents a round more than these Remingtons here. Then I went back on December the 10th, more than a month later from these, and I found the same Federal American Eagle in boxes of 20, and they were selling for $9.49 for each box of 20, which comes to 47 cents a round. Well, 47 is a lot worse than 38 or 36, but it's a lot better than $1.10. So I got 80 rounds here. Now I'm getting really close to my 500. And then this month on January 7th, I went in and they sold me, the small boxes, the limit is 4. This Frontier cartridges from Hornady, 20 rounds. And these came in. Now this box of 20 was $9.49. These were $6.49. No, $6.99, which comes to 35 cents a round. Now that's more like it. And that put me up to my 500 limit that I was looking for. I bought a couple more of these metal mags. I went to another place, got this 20 round mag, which I wasn't that thrilled about, but after I put it in the gun, I thought, you know what? I like that better than the 30 round magazine. I think that was cooler like that. More like the ones that the Army used in Vietnam. Alright, so I got me 3 of these metal 30 round magazines. I picked up a Magpul the other day. The thing about magazines is that's probably going to be the first thing that they ban. Is these magazines, they're going to want everybody to have a 10 round magazine to put in your AR before they take your AR away. But that brings me up to my 500. I got everything all set. Now next time I buy some ammo, I can go out and shoot some of it, and the rest of it will go into magazines. I got my own dedicated ammo bags here, and just for that, my others are all my other stuff is in plenty of other ammo boxes, but I'll Just this tan one is just for 223 and 556 and AR mags. All right, so you can get the stuff if you shop quickly. The lesson is whenever you see anything on your list of stuff that you want in the store, get it right away. Don't wait on it. All right? Happy hunting and be prepared. Thanks. Mr. Gibson Guy out.